Well, good morning. Dave Weiss here again with the Glue Bomb Show. I have one that I'm excited about today. I was planning on having some more on the funny cars and all that stuff done, but I got to be honest, building time has not been real prevalent these last couple weeks. Things have just been really busy with work and everything else. I haven't had a lot of time to build. I've still got my Dragula working, and I've got that going, and I do have the engine complete on the Tommy Grove funny car, and I just built the frame and got that painted. So I am making some progress, but I thought today I would unbox one for you. And the main reason I'm unboxing this today is because I'm entered into a contest. This is going to be my contest build, and I need to get started on it. So I thought I would share it with you today. This is a classic. This is a golden oldie. A friend of mine helped me to get a hold of this one. It is the AMT Street Machine 72 Chevelle SS. Now, this car is sort of important to me because my first car was a 72 Chevelle. Now, it was not an SS, it was a Malibu, but it was still a fun car. And for years, I have wanted to build a model that looked like that car. Now, that car was not in the greatest of shape, so I'm going to make this one the bright, shiny version that I wish the car would have been, okay? So this is how I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it straight up, stock. It's going to be I'm going to try to make it look as close to my Malibu as I can, except, like I say, shiny and as if it was new. So I thought I'd unbox this today so that I can get started on it. I like to do these unboxing videos before I start. So we're going to start off today with the chrome. So we've got our chrome pieces here. You can see we've got some nice slot wheels, it looks like, and of course your standard grille and the back bumper. The one thing that was fun about these cars, I don't know if you remember this or not, but these cars, you filled up the gas tank through here. You flip down the license plate and you filled it through the back here. To me, I never understood that. As a somewhat older person now, I kind of wonder what it would be like if every time I wanted to fill my car up with gas, I had to bend down like that, and I think it might bother me a little bit after a while. It's got a nice little decal set in here. I won't be using these this time, but it's kind of a neat shape. Very 70s this is, and of course we've got a one-piece windshield rear window piece, and then of course we've got just some nice regular rubber tires. Now, the one thing that really did my heart good was that said that this kit was molded in color. And I was a little concerned about that because the car on the box is blue, so I assumed I was getting a blue kit. And I want to paint this thing Inca Gold with a black vinyl roof, which is how mine looked. And I was so pleased to find out, because I was trying to find, Inca Gold comes in lacquer, and you can't shoot lacquer over top of enamel, as I'm told. So I was going to have to try to find a primer that would go under my Inca Gold lacquer. Of course, paint has become hard to come by, as most of you who build models probably know. Paint is not as readily available as it once was, and so I was having a hard time finding it. So when I got ready to do this unboxing, I opened it up, and guess what? It is cast in a color of sorts, a very light gray, almost like a primer gray or an aircraft gray. So the good news is I may not actually have to prime this. So this is your standard body. It looks really cool. It's really sharp, straight, and clean. This one I'm going to experiment with. This is going to be my first time trying to lay a vinyl roof. I'm going to use masking tape, blue painter's tape, and I'm going to paint over that. So hopefully that'll work. You'll probably see an episode about that project. And then, of course, we've got the chassis slash body pan here. As you can see, the chassis is molded in one piece with the body pan here. So basically, I'm thinking this is going to be a fairly simple construction, but it's going to be interesting to paint. I'm going to try to paint this with a gold underside and then just paint the frame details black, or at least that's my goal at this point, okay? For the interior, I am going to go with the majority of my interior was black, so we've got this sort of interior pan here, bench back seat, which I have to tell you, this car, you know how first cars are, right? No, I'm not going there. But this was my first car, and I was one of the few among my friends to have my license. And so I ended up hauling a lot of people in this. I remember at one point taking 10 kids to the movies in my 72 Chevelle. Yes, this was back before seatbelt laws and all that other stuff, and it was probably, if my parents had known, I probably wouldn't have had the car for a while, if you know what I mean. We've got a nice straight hood here. Now, this one has the little SS hood that, of course, my 72 Malibu didn't have. I'm not going to bother to do surgery on that. I'm simply not going to cut out the blower slash the hole for the ignition, you know what I mean. I'm not going to cut the scoop hole out. That's what I'm trying to say. Looks like I've got some backs for the bucket seats here. Again, my car did not have bucket seats. This was back when you had a front seat with a bench that you could get. So I'm not going to bother to try to do that. I'm just going to build it the way the kit has given it here. It's got a little console between the seats. And then, of course, we've got some different headers. This is probably more of the stock header, I'm guessing. Of course, we've got the dual exhaust setup, and it looks like the dual exhaust is cast with the rear axle, the differential. I've got a firewall here and a couple other odds and ends. A pretty nicely detailed dash. I'm going to have some fun painting that. Give you a little closer up of that. It's got all the gauges and everything, little radio here. Of course, if this was going to be like mine, I would have had to put an aftermarket radio in there, because that was the first thing that I did, was put an aftermarket radio in, because I didn't really know how I could do much with an engine. However, I was able to put a stereo in, so I put a kicking stereo in this thing. It's probably part of the reason my hearing is what it is today. And then we have the engine. Now this one, of course, is built for a 454. I had a 307. Again, some of you guys have the ability to do all that kind of stuff. I really don't. So I'm just going to make this look as cool as I possibly can. It's going to be a good representative of the car that I had. Of course, if I really wanted to get fancy, they've got a really nice hood scoop in here. We've got the standard air cleaner, which is what I had on mine, so that's what will go in this. But it also has a 2.4 tunnel ram you could put on it, and another intake over here. So there's that's that word, intake. That's the word I was looking for. This one also comes with, it looks like this is for under the rear bumper. This would have been where the gas went in, as I mentioned earlier. And then finally, it looks like it has a battery in the box here. There's the battery. Of course, it had one of those. It did not have one of these, a drag chute. I'll hold on to that, though, because I'm sure I can use that in another build. Basically, guys, this kit looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to digging into it and seeing how it ends up. I want to thank my friend Ken Warren for helping me get my hands on this, because I never thought I'd be able to get a 72 Chevelle. Again, it's not exactly the car I had, but it's going to look a lot like the car I had. It's going to look good on my shelf, and I'm really happy to have it. So that's my unboxing of the Street Machines 72 Chevelle, and I'll probably be doing a couple videos on this as we go. All right, guys, that's it for now. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, and remember, model building's supposed to be fun. So have fun.